Welcome to the Lutetia Lounge. Produced by Studio Whacked.
I don't know. I don't think they were high because I think drugs in Scandinavia are pretty frowned upon. But I guess
They probably felt their way from when they first got there.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess
some-
maybe they're just vibing on them wrong. Not
Some
really
hidden
sure.
tensions, something there. Because
Yeah.
I've definitely heard about stuff in like Copenhagen as well with people like
Oh,
stuff
yeah?
going down. Yeah. I've never had a bad experience there though.
Yeah.
I've never had a bad experience, and I've been to Sweden, Halmstad. I've been to Stockholm. I've been to Finland and Copenhagen in the Scandinavia region.
And you went to what? In just Stockholm in Sweden or where?
Yeah, Stockholm in Sweden. In Finland, I went to Malpe. The first time, it's like 3 years ago, my ex that was from Sweden sold her apartment in Stockholm. So I went to Stockholm for that. And then I went to Halmstad as
right.
well.
Well, listen, Loft, I just want to thank you for coming on today.
Yeah.
And it's a real pleasure. I'm glad that we got to meet, and we're getting to talk today.
Yeah, excited.
Where does your name come from, man? Loft?
Oh, man, so I would say growing up, like in Brooklyn, I think like nicknames were a thing.
Always
growing
in the
up.
States.
So I've given some of my buddies that have the nicknames till today of their names that they had. So before that, my name was Chino. Everybody called me Chino.
Chino, why Chino?
Chino. So I would say growing up in the 90s, early 2000s, a lot of my friends a lot of it was relationship with gang related. So I think just even through the gang relation, there was a sense of just having nicknames to kind of identify who it were. So if it's based off your personality, like before Chino was Slim Thug.
Okay.
So they used to call me Slim Thug, then it was Chino. But when I did music around like when I was like 19, and that was my artist name, Chino. Like it was like a very young, premature thought up concept of like change has a new opportunity.
Okay.
So that's what that meant for me, and it was a way that I guess I identified with the world through my friend group, but also nicknames for me also solidified how much I really knew a person. So if I'm outside and someone says Chino, or if someone says like Slim Thug, or somebody says Finesse, or someone says Loft, I can identify how you knew, like some sense of how you know me. But I released my first project on SoundCloud in 2017. And I was going by Chino up to this point. And I had a friend that jokingly, I was like, I should call myself Loft Blue because I was going to name the project the Loft Blue tape, but go as Chino for my artist name. So I don't know, there was a very interesting fascination with the name Loft Blue because I think loft is something I've always wanted to have or own one day, and then blue just through affiliation of like my childhood friends was a color that I also resonated with.
But you're not alluding to the Blueprint or anything like that?
No.
or Lenny Kravitz's first name. You know who he went by before he took back Kravitz, Lenny Kravitz?
What was it?
Romeo Blue.
Romeo Blue.
Yeah, so he went by that. When he met what was his Lisa Bonet. He was still going by the name Romeo Blue, and she's like, look, maybe you should like cancel that and just take your dad's real name.
It's pretty sick. It's a good call.
Right? Yeah,
It's a
Romeo
good
Blue's
call.
like horrible, man.
Yeah. Romeo
Right?
Blue sounds like very short career.
Yeah, it sounds like a real bad career, actually. And look what happened.
Insane.
So Loft Blue came.
Yeah, so I called my buddy, and he's just like, I'm not calling you that, bro. Like, I know you're Chino. Like, I'm not calling you no Loft Blue, fam.
He calls you out. He's like, no.
Yeah, he's
not
like, bro,
happening.
I'm not calling you that. So, but I've released a project with the alias Loft Blue, and I still called it the Loft Blue tape.
All right.
So I think with time, it took time for me because I changed nicknames throughout just so many periods of my life. So it took time for me to actually believe I was Loft Blue. So I would still meet people and be like, hey, what's your name? I'm like, Chino. And I'm like, oh. So I had to, it took some time, but it came from, I think, just a moment of me just shifting dynamics of what my name was and it resonating a little bit deeper than I thought it would for me.
So it was almost sort of like you assumed being the artist you were, and that was the name that personified it best.
Yeah. And I think also I'm a very mellow, super chill, kind of like always on the same pace all the time. So for me, like just saying the word Loft Blue felt like a nice soft tone of like jazz and kind of like this like easy, like I believe in my past life I was a pimp for sure.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, 1000%.
So that's why you had the chino and the
Yeah, I mean, I think
Slim Thug was the other one?
Yeah, Slim Thug. I had a nickname was Finesse
Okay.
at one point, but
And you mentioned a second ago that you grew up in sort of a gang-related neighborhood. Were you affiliated with a gang at one point?
just through context of having friends. So
Okay.
let's say if your older brothers and your friends are all a part of a gang, and like if everyone got in trouble, you was also in trouble.
Yeah, right.
But if also they was going to do some bullshit,
You got into it somehow.
You was also in the bullshit. But yeah, it was. I mean, like I grew up in Bed-Stuy, in Brooklyn. And we live. I think me and my mom and my sister, we live in maybe like 5 different areas through Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. So like in Bed-Stuy, that's why I get the community aspect from, because a lot of that exist in like knowing. So you know who the drug dealer is, you know who the guy that's like stealing bikes, you know the guy that's doing all these things. So it becomes it's interesting. I guess it's in bad neighborhoods, if someone's visiting, they'll be like, oh, it's a bad neighborhood, but the people that live there, it's like, feel safe, it's normal. It's not, you don't look at it strange.
As long as you know where everybody's at and what they're up to.
Yeah.
And it's actually better to know, I guess, where the bad energy is coming from too.
I mean, it definitely has gave me a heightened sense in how I operate and function today. So, I mean, I mean, like for me, Paris feels like vacation, because it's the first time where I can live somewhere and I don't have to be kind of just too aware. I mean, like I'm still aware, but I think just in terms of like leaving the apartment today and be like, yeah, I might get into some bullshit on the train today or just on a walk, because
I had that same thing in New York. I always said to myself, in the beginning, I was like, for the first 6 months I lived there, I got there in the early, well, I guess sort of mid-90s, 94.
Yeah.
And I used to be like, oh, I wonder if something's going to happen to me today. Like when I first got there. And then 6 months later, I'm like, what the fuck is going to happen to me today? Because something's going to happen. I know I'm going to witness something.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to encounter somebody. I know I'm going to something's going to go like sideways, or I'm going to see like, I don't know, see a interesting street person that's going to start a ruckus. And a lot of times it was on the train. Like people would go out on the train or something.
Yeah, I think the train is, I mean, like I prefer, like I love New York MTA train. I mean, like I remember like that was, because I think also because we also have like very prominent subway stations where you can like go to, and it was a bit chaotic, but it was also, you can like talk to girls at the subway, you can meet your friends in the subway. So it's the subway I was able to see after COVID hit, and I seen how raw the city became again. It felt like, I was like, people were like so alarmed, and I'm like, this is how I grew up. Like you see people shoot up on a train, or you see like the craziest stuff and you just casually ignore it.
I remember the first time I got on a train, and I smelled it before I saw it. I was like, what the fuck is that smell? I looked over, and there was this cat, and it's like half his head was like shaved on the side, but not, I don't think like that was the really desired effect of the haircut. And just skinny as a rail, and they're smoking crack. And it was just sort of like, just moved away. That's it. No one said anything. It was like, you're not gonna fuck with that person. You sort of move away. And I was like, oh, all right. So I moved away, and that was that. And the person got off the train, but they might have yelled some shit before they did too, but it was just like.
Yeah, it's super normal. The normality in it is very interesting, because it's never like somebody can shoot from across the street, and I say sadly, because I should react as an average person, but I kind of just would look. I wouldn't even be too alarmed to what that might sound like. So like desensitizes you living in New York, especially if you come from like a certain area, a certain neighborhood. So as an adult, I feel kind of like superhero because I'm kind of like not affected by like the normal things, but it also created this very like wall that I have to feel certain emotions and so forth.
And you said you grew up, like, I guess in the late 90s, early 2000s in Bed-Stuy, right?
Early 90s.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Early 90s.
Oh, so you were born in the 80s?
91.
91. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And when did you first start getting into rap?
Oh, man. I remember being... My mom has a VCR tape of, I think I dressed up in all white as like Mace. And I think at the time my little sister was playing Mary. But I think always me growing up in Brooklyn, I had like cousins through just like my mom dating a guy and then him having nephews. But we used to all, Friday through Sunday, we would go to Macon Street in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, and we would play Dreamcast.
Okay.
We'll play Dreamcast, and then they had an American Idol. I don't know why we had that, but it had American Idol, and we would just get instrumental because you buy the CDs. You could buy like a CD with like 30 instrumentals, and we were super heavy into Dipset, and we would just play 2K. I think it was 2K at the time. Like, and
this is all foreign to me, by the way. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
That's all right, though. That's okay. I'm going with it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like.
Yeah. So. You played, you know, Dreamcast is, yeah.
No.
Okay, so
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
Okay. Dreamcast is like, it was in between the release of Xbox and PlayStation.
Okay.
Right before that hit.
Those I
market.
know.
Yeah. So Dreamcast is a little before that, around like the gray PlayStation era. So we would just play instrumentals and just freestyle.
Okay. Oh wow. So you guys used it for a whole different.
Yeah. It was very different. And I remember. It was like, I think the first thing I said, it was pretty cheesy, it's funny, but I was like, I play basketball 24/7. I wonder if I die, do they got a court in heaven? And I remember my cousins being like, what the fuck? We're probably like 12, 13 at the time.
So this is circa 2003.
Yeah, it's like 2003. Yeah. And I think from that moment, we just started to actually buy CDs with instrumentals on it and write to it and do songs. But I took it more serious because it was something that resonated with me. I think also like growing up and watching, I would record every music video on a VCR tape.
All right.
And like
talking about VCRs now.
Yeah, and like
speaking my language.
And like and then like just play it back and watch it. So videos.
And would you rap along with certain artists?
All the time.
So who was like, at that point, you said Mace. That's funny to me because Mace was like there for a year and then like he got religious and he was in that one Biggie video where they're all like the Hype Williams, all their clothes are like blown up and shit.
It's like fisheye.
Yeah. Every Hype Williams video at that time. If you want to be in a rap video, you just threw a fisheye lens on something. And then he like disappeared. But who at that point, like I guess when you're 12, 13, because I can think of.
I mean. Because
New York, when I got there, it was like, the best rap was coming out. I got there in '94. It was right after Mobb Deep had just dropped their sickest, album. Like you got Gangstar, you got J. Rue the Damager. I've always loved more underground stuff like Black Poet and I don't know. Just Tribe Called Quest is so big at that time. The Beasties got some good stuff out.
I think for me at the time, my first memories of owning music, going back to, I had a Walkman. I had a yellow and gray Walkman.
The ones that could actually get like water on them or something like that?
Open up like heavy. You could throw it against the wall. It was like, and it wouldn't break. It was like, I think it was like a Sony one. And I had a orange DMX cassette.
DMX, all right. He just died like a year and a half ago.
It's super legend. So he was a big influence of like childhood watching visuals, videos. But I remember there was a song, it was like, It was like, why do good girls like bad guys? And he's like, why do good girls like bad guys? Showing that. So that was my first introduction to like really, really raw hip hop that I knew I wasn't supposed to be listening to. But it just felt so normal, as if I was listening to ABCs. And then I had a CD player and Snoop Dogg Last Meal.
All right.
That album. So that was also another thing for me. But I think growing up in Brooklyn, there's a daycare named Shirley Chisholm that I spent I think my mom had me there when I was like 2.5 because she had to work a lot, and I was there to maybe like 11, 12. But I think from the ranges of I think from like 5 to like 10, there would be these times where we have nap times. And I've always been like a small germaphobe a little bit. So the same floor that we ate the food inside the place, and then we had to go to the cubbies and get the mats and lay on the floor, and there's like a bunch of food on the floor, and I'm like freaked out a little bit. So I never slept.
Oh yeah.
But the teachers that were there, they would play like jam and oldies. So like as I'm like sitting there thinking about these thoughts, looking at the floor, being like kind of grossed out, not letting my sheets touch the floor, I'm also listening to music. So I think a lot of influence through like old music, like blues, like Lightning Hopkins, or kind of like the classic like Al Green or Quincy Jones or Michael Jackson, Prince, Marvin Gaye. I mean, so hearing all these influences, I guess, created this tone where I was able to understand music for how it made you feel when you didn't actively have to like dance and move, just like the essence of being able to enjoy it. Yeah.
And I mean, I can't avoid this question, but I mean, but Sty, I mean, Black Star.
Yeah.
I mean, they must have been like up there, right? Because Black on Both Sides was dropped in 1999, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I believe it was like before we entered into 2000s.
Yeah, I think it was. And obviously, they only put out that one Black Star album in like '96, and then it took a long time to put out the other one. But I mean, once Mos Def came up with that was like that was probably one of the best rap albums of the '90s by far.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, he must have been a mentor for everybody in Bed-Stuy and Brooklyn.
Mos Def.
I mean, one of the most insane.
I mean, it's
freestylers. Even
to this day, I still play Mos Def.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I've seen him like 3 times in concert. I've seen Black Star, and then I've seen Yasin Bey. Twice, but it's changed up a bit since he become Yasin Bey.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's still just like
legend.
Yeah. He's up there with top 5 at least. I mean, if not top 3.
Definitely top 5.
Right. So when did you? So you started rapping then, and at what point did you go, yo, I'm gonna do this? Like this is like it. What point did it like sort of like click in your mind? Like, yo, I'm gonna pursue this.
Okay, so from riding with my cousins, like early teenage years, they both moved to New Jersey. So that dream for me kind of like faded a little bit, but I still was writing poetry.
Okay.
So I was always, even to this day, I think I wrote so much poetry, I probably speak more in metaphor versus like direct lingo. And when I want to say like 18, 19, I met a guy named Damien that was producing beats in his home. And I would go to his apartment every day before work. He'll work on music. We would go to the studio. A guy that we knew in Soho area had like a studio downstairs basement of like a lingerie shop. So it was a very interesting, like kind of like cave to do music.
This is when they call you, Chino, at that point when you were working on a lingerie shop? Or were you still Slim Thug at that point?
I was Chino then.
Okay, all right.
So we released some music. And I think like just being young and egos and certain things, and I remember getting into once again taking it too serious. I remember not even too serious, but I remember telling me and Damien get into an argument. And I remember going like, "This is all I have." I mean, like it's something that made me feel like there was a reason for me to pursue this, and I didn't know what that was. I just knew that every time I was close to it, it felt like I couldn't let it go. And then we cut ties. I did music for maybe like 2-3 years with him, like that.
So from 2009 to 2011, it sounds like?
Yeah, 2009, 2011. And then it just like once again, parted ways, and
happens.
I just had a bunch of music. Like, so my friends knew me for like music I would do, and I would hang out in Harlem at the time in Manhattan, and my cousin that was out there set up like a rap battle in the hallway. So it was very interesting.
But you're still living in Bed-Stuy at that point? You're still living in Brooklyn?
Yeah, I'm still in Bed-Stuy. So I was probably one of the few friends from Brooklyn that would travel to Harlem.
Because I mean, not a lot of people know, but that's a trek. That's like an hour.
It's a good hour on a late night, maybe hour and a half.
Yeah, it can be. But it was on the trains.
And it was this tension of like Brooklyn dudes didn't go to Harlem guys didn't come to Brooklyn, because there was just like, you could just tell a Harlem guy and you could just tell a Brooklyn guy. And Brooklyn was known to be kind of like grimy a little bit, and then Harlem was never Brooklyn guys vibe, but that's what all the chicks were. To me, I mean, so it was like a new unlocked map. So that was interesting.
Right. So you said like around 2011, and so you kept pursuing this the career, and at what point? Because you said you're working at the same time. Where were you working at that time?
At that time, so this is so I haven't, let's say I was 21, 22. So I'm hanging with my friends, and I'm still vague. I'm still writing music vaguely. Like I'll find a beat on YouTube, I'll write to it, or sometime even before YouTube started to release beats on YouTube, I would like listen to my favorite artist's song, memorize the beat.
All right.
And then write to it in that way, and then I would sync it, and I would just like listen to the song the artist is rapping on, and then
mentally memorize the beat that's there.
Like because I think for me it's just a tempo. So once I get the tempo, I would like rap to the actual artist rapping to his song, and still finish and complete the song. And that's when they started to release more instrumentals, and I was able to do it more frequently.
Because you said you also do spoken word as well.
Yeah,
right?
I did spoken word. I used to go to the Nuyorican Cafe in 2nd Avenue in Lower East Side, Delancey area in New York, and they would have Fridays with open mic.
All right.
I believe it was like Wednesday or Friday had open mic, so I would go up there and recite some stuff to some exes or like girlfriends that I wanted to get back, or just kind of like the very young, naive.
And when you say spoken word, this it's not. Sometimes slam and spoken word can overlap.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Have you do slam as well, or?
I've never slammed. I've submitted to slam, but I think like I didn't really have many friends that were doing spoken word. I think like growing up in Brooklyn, we either like play basketball, you play football, or you were a rapper, or you were a drug dealer. It wasn't until I got a little bit older that I realized like all these other things are actually careers that people have, and not just something that you admire from a screen or kind of like look at. So I never really even looked at that as an option, or didn't even, I think I called it poetry. I feel like I still call it poetry to today. I don't think I've ever really called what I do rap, because if I don't do rap, then I can always still do poetry. But poetry is rap to
to a beat,
a degree,
or tempo. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the line's blurry there, and so that's why I said slam and spoken word. It's just, it can accelerate, or it can just have a harder beat behind it, and you call it something different.
Yeah. So and then I mean we can rewind, but fast forward. I met a guy that was working at Gorin Brothers hat store, so like fedoras. He gave me like a pork pie hat. And it was the coolest thing to me. Like I'm very hands-on, or I guess I like to say that, but I think I have very technical thinking. So I wanted to work at the store to learn about hat making.
It's funny. I used to work for a milliner in New York.
Yeah,
it's funny.
So yeah, I worked there for maybe 2.5 years. I learned how to reshape the hats. For me, it was also learning about like how what clients wanted and what that looked like. So I learned how to steam, reshape.
Went deeper into me than me.
Yeah. So
like I was loaded and just like cutting brims and shit.
Yeah, I was so fascinated, even just like the feathers. And so when I left there, I was like, I can do this. I met one guy that was a hat maker that was a client that visited, and I remember seeing him through, I think this was like early Instagram maybe, or maybe like MySpace, one of the two. And I remember asking him a question, and I think at the time milliners per se, it's such a small community that they don't really give resources up unless you have something to like share. So I remember like seeing his like beaver felt hats come into the store that he like made himself and did the ribbons. I remember sending him a message. I remember him, like we had a deep conversation in the store. I sent him a message and then he just ignored the message because I asked him like, hey, where would I be able to get some hat bodies so I can kind of like, so I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, I never want to feel this again. I'm maybe like 24 now. I'm like curious. I'm gonna just find out. So I did heavy, deep research. I found a company in Germany that does like beaver felt and rabbit fur felt hats. I ordered a bunch of hat bodies. I even brought me like some Stetsons.
So the bodies come already in the shape, or you have the pelts on the side?
It comes with like it's just like a cone shape, like raw, not even stretch. So I had to buy, so in New York in storage, I have hat blocks from 6.5 to 7.5. I have the rope. I got my sweatbands from Greece, from a company in Greece. And I did everything from scratch. So I just steamed the felt hat, put it on the hat block. You have like a rope that you pull and you tie to make the seam for where you put the thread to put the sweatband in. You let that sit till it dries. Once it dries, then you have your hat shape. And then just another tool that you buy to cut the brim in a circular motion. And if you want it like wide, if you want it small. And that was like a good 2 years. So I made about 30, 40 hats.
Were you selling them?
Just for a few clients. I had a few people because also once again, it was something that I didn't think was possible to do. And I was probably the only male within my friend group in my community that was doing it. I was always into fashion. So I went to Milan in Fashion Week in 2016. And I met one of my mentors there that was working for Vivienne Westwood.
Oh, all right.
And me and him got really close. And then he invited me to a store opening in Paris that I believe opened around 2015, 2016. And it was cool. I had a hat for him. I gave a hat to him and sold a few. And it hits a point where I was like, okay,
I'm making hats now.
Yeah, I'm like
I'm a milliner.
Yeah, I'm like milliner for sure. And then I'm like, okay, it hit a peak of, I'm like, what's next?
So you're still rapping? You still? Did you still have a day job, kind of, or were you?
Yeah, I'm still like the classic New York hustle. You work daytime and then you create when you have pockets.
So you got like 3 jobs at this point: a milliner, a rapper. You're doing your day job.
Yeah.
And so you also you've done collaborations with other fashion labels, right?
Yeah. I mean, so I worked. So fast forwarding even further. I worked for Dover Street Market in 2017 to about 2019 for 2 years.
What does that encompass? What does that mean exactly?
So Comme des Garçons is the parent company. Like I think people know it for like if you've seen like the heart on the Converses with the 2 eyes.
But I thought you said Dover Street.
Yeah. So Dover Street is the store that Comme des Garçons
That's
owns.
a flagship thing?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
The first one is I believe the first one they opened is in London. So in every Dover Street Market, they sell Comme des Garçons products, but they also carry third-party clothing. It'd be anywhere from Balenciaga, Vetements, Tom Brown. So like and it's where celebrities.
But like
shop.
they go en maison, quoi.
Yeah. So they have their full thing. I worked for them for 2 years. Met a buddy there that was doing music. And I haven't been rapping for, it's been maybe 8 years now.
Oh, you had sort of put that on hold then?
Yeah, it was just like my personal private thing that I was
All right.
doing, and my friends that knew that Chino can rap his ass off.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember he was a security guard, and he was telling me about his music, and I was telling him like my storyline of when I was doing music when I was 19, and then he was like, yo, and I played something for him on my phone, and then I rapped for him, and he was like, bro, like, you still got it, fam. At the time, I'm 27? I'm looking at the industry change and shift, and I'm like, fam, I'm like outdated, bro. He's like, nah, bro, like you really, so I took his advice. I started to record music, just like, now I'm like, not studio again yet, but just like voice note. So I like get the instrumental, play it, write the song, let a few people hear it, and kind of like go from there.
Do you go back and like dig in the archives at that point?
Yeah.
Or are you just freestyling? Like, do you go back and get some ideas out of the like bag of tricks you have? Or
Nah, just all new.
all new?
Yeah, just literally all new. And I had a homie in New York from the West Coast named Busby that was doing sculpture. And he had it very interesting. And I remember asking him a million questions like, yeah, I want to work on something with my hands coming from millinery. I didn't want to, like, I just didn't know what I wanted to do with myself. And he was like, bro, this is the store. It's called the Complete Sculpture Store in New York, where it's like a sculpture artist, anybody that's in craft or ceramics, it'd be like a wet dream in the store. I go there, I speak to the staff, I figure out what clay I wanted to get. I got the clay, and I just started creating these like structures. So while I'm working with Dover Street, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna save 15 grand. I'm gonna leave Dover, and I'm gonna put all my money into sculpture. So I worked over for 2 years.
All the while you're still rapping?
I mean, rapping on like very silently.
All right.
Because I'm still like within millinery, I'm trying to like write music and rap, but it didn't feel like, it felt like something was blocking it. And I feel like I have to be like really fully invested. So I saved 15 grand, and my friends are laughing at me at work because every day I'm eating like granola bananas for breakfast. For lunch, I'm like self-checkout and like sushi and very bare minimalistic. But I leave there after 2 years, and I invest in doing sculpture. So I like have all the hats in the studio. I'll show you a photo later of how the studio used to look.
Were you working in London at that point?
When I went to Milan.
No. When you were saving this money, were you in New York at that time?
No. The New York store is open.
Okay. That's what I missed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't specify that. So they have New York, Japan, London,
Paris, I imagine.
coming this year.
Okay.
And
because didn't they used to have something over there at the Faubourg Saint-Honoré? There was like something over in that area. There was a
So that's 3537 organization.
Okay.
So it was. How much can I share about? It was bought for Dover Street Market, but COVID happened.
Okay.
So it operated as like showroom, office space, and just couldn't do anything with it yet.
All right.
So being that COVID lifted, now they were able to look at it. And last year they closed it in July.
Okay.
And started like removing everything. So that entire space is going to be Dover Street Market.
Okay.
Paris. So I'm building sculptures now. Like I'm maybe 2 months in. I'm like isolating myself from my friends. I was going through like small depression because I had meningitis at 19.
Oh damn.
Yeah, so it was like
How'd you weather that? Normal people just come to that in like 3-4 days.
Don't know.
Damn.
All I know is I can't go through that again, because then I'll be definitely not in good condition.
But you can't get it twice, can you?
I mean, when I got it, it was 2011. I was 19.
Yeah.
When it happened to me, and it happened in like April, March, and the body just has to fight it off. And then September.
Or not.
Yeah, or not, or like It's always, they said it's like you can either go, you can go blind, you can go deaf, you can lose your memory, but also a lot of it changes your like whole brain chemistry and how it
because it's basically a swelling of the liquid around your brain, right?
Yeah, it's bacteria that builds up in the spine and then straight to the brain. So when babies get it, babies die a lot of the times, or they might have some form of autism or on a spectrum because of how strong it is.
Do you think that remolded who you were at that point?
I have a very interesting story about that, which also showed me the power of music for me. A little quick dive back. I was in a hospital. My ex had an iPod. I haven't been able to walk for about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So I had a nurse that would come in every morning. She'll flashlight in my eyes. She'll snap fingers on my ears, and she'll try to help me stand up. I couldn't stand up longer than 4 or 5 seconds before my legs would just give out.
Damn.
At the time, Fabulous Soul Tape came out. And I think I used to always upload the music. And so I think I uploaded it without being able to actually listen to it. And it was one evening when everybody left the hospital, and I put the headphones in, and I remember like there was a song called Reese and Rolling, and another one that was like, Y'all Don't Hear Me Though. And I remember listening to it and getting goosebumps from like the top of my head all the way through my body to the bottom of my feet. And something was like, walk. And I took my first steps to the bathroom that day. And they released me the next day. I was still like blacking out because I wasn't, but it showed me like, okay, there's a healing property within that can't be explained with doctors or even having an assistant. So I always kept that with me, and it changed my whole perspective. Like it did something to me and how I view the world and everything too. It made me a little bit more calm. But yeah, that was, and then fast forward back again. I hope I'm not rambling.
Not at all.
Yeah, and then I'm working on sculptures now. I'm like in New York, I'm in Queens. My mom bought a house. I was planning to move to LA. 2014, I bought me a 1972 Chevy Chevelle. My friend had a 1965 Chevy Impala.
Yeah, that's a nice car.
We just rode around. He would meet me up in Harlem. We rode down from Harlem to Williamsburg to Soho and it was like a nice 1.5, 2 year span of us doing that. But I'm in a studio and I'm doing sculptures, and I go to the complete sculpture store and I buy 30 boxes of clay. So they had to bring it on like a pallet.
Is that a lot of clay? I don't know.
Yeah. So a box is 50 pounds.
Okay, so we're talking about almost a ton.
Yeah, of clay. And I went to.
So you're pretty ambitious.
Yeah, it's insane. So I remember like getting the U-Haul and then putting the pallet on, and the back of the U-Haul is just like drops down. I'm like, holy shit. I went to Home Depot. I figured out like how I want to build it. I bought a bunch of PVC, and then I bought like the stepping stones that people use for their gardens, and I build on top of that for the base. And I'm in Queens. My mom bought a home. She's living on the 2nd floor. She's renting the 3rd, and she was like, don't move to LA. No, so she's like, don't sell your car. You can leave it here. But I sold the car anyway because that also went towards the sculpture money. And I'm making sculptures. I'm making 5, I'm making 4. No real ventilation in a space. I get maybe 23 sculptures in, and it was a summer now. Now it's maybe like July, August. It's
89% humidity.
So I'm like,
hot as hell.
I'm like using clay. On the box of clay, it says in the state of California causes cancer. That's what they have on the box. I guess the chemical and how it smells.
But only when you're in California does it cause cancer, right? You're in New York, you're good, right?
Like doesn't apply in New York. It's like only if it contacts with California air. Yeah, no, it's and I remember I removed my bed because I just was like, if I'm here, I just want to create, I just want to make sculpture. So I was doing 2 sculptures a day.
Damn.
So
What are you sculpting? I know we're gonna show pictures later on, and through the podcast and stuff like that. But what are you sculpting at that?
It's like these, like the native totem poles, like different faces. But I just had one pole and one face at the top.
Okay.
So they were all, the ceiling I was capped at was, I think the ceiling in the basin space I was in was maybe 7 feet. So all the sculptures were maybe 6, 7, 6 feet, 8 inches. So they were all, so I had like.
So they're all still in the basement because you couldn't get them out.
Yeah, I couldn't get them out.
You got to go there to see them.
Insane. So I when I was at Dover, a guy that worked, I'm like all over the place, but.
Still talking about sculpture?
Yeah. Sculpture. And I realized I meet a woman, so I'm like kicking it at her space in the city. I'll go check her from like Thursday to Sunday, come back, work in the studio from Monday to Thursday, Monday to Friday. But I realized as I'm sleeping on the couch in my studio, it's like July, August, like the couch feels really damp. Like it's starting to feel like, it feels like if you is sweating all night on the couch and like what it felt like.
Yeah.
But I also have about 27 sculptures drying in the studio. So this is all humidity in the space. I didn't pay it any mind. I'm like mixing concrete.
This is not going towards like a black mold scenario, is it?
This is in that direction. I go to her, I think it's maybe like 90 degrees, 89, 90 degrees. I go to her apartment, spend 3 days. I come back to the studio to work. I see a little green fuzz on the couch. I'm not processing. I've never experienced mold.
That's because you're working with cancerous clay.
Yeah, I'm like, I like wipe the couch and nothing. I build 2 more. So now I'm at like 28, 29 and a half. I go to her apartment. I kick it with her, probably a little bit longer. I come back. The entire studio is green. Everything's green. I had African taxidermies. I had chairs I was gonna work on, canvas that I've done that turned green. My hats were protected because I put them in like the plastic sleeve you would put like a mattress in. Yeah. So I had them on the floor and I worked for like Freeze Art Fair and I took like a felt thing and I wrapped them, but they were good. Everything else was green. And I just put like $12K into this project.
But even the totems were green?
And then the totems were cool.
Cool, okay.
But everything outside of it, around it, that I've been like working on and just like the storyline of what the studio was destroyed. So I was able to only save a few things. I had to spray like vinegar, let it sit outside in the sun and dry, but I hit like a wall. Like I went with my partner to Sweden for her to sell the apartment, and I remember like talking to God. I've never spoke to God so much in my life, and I just like, what am I supposed to be doing?
But those totem, the sculptures were salvageable.
The sculptures were salvaged, but I felt like I was mad. I was like mad at the sculptures for some reason.
Maybe they brought it on. I mean, I don't know. They had 27, 28 sculptures, and then you come back and there's like a lush green moss covering or something?
Yeah, it's like green on everything. On the wall, the ceiling, the couch is covered in green. I had my jackets were covered in green. I lost a lot of clothing. Everything was green.
At like 4 or 5 day period.
Yeah. Just the heat. And I guess because...
And you still kept the Loft Blue. You didn't go Loft Green at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to laugh about it, right? I mean,
definitely could have been Loft Green from that point. Just like, how'd you get the name Loft Green? Yeah. Well, this
it was a transition period.
I remember I had these very insane dreams while I was in Sweden when I was like, I remember telling my part, walking and telling her like, I don't know what to do. Cause I've tried to, like I would be in the studio sculpting, I'll play classical music, I'll have on a podcast, and then sometimes I'll stop and I'll put on instrumental and I would try to like rap or freestyle, and I had nothing. I couldn't find a groove. So I was like, in my mind, I'm like, maybe my time is past, and this is why I had the conversation with the guy at Dover Street, and he's like, no, you still have it. So in Sweden, I have like 3 dreams. I've always had this dream in my life about a hamster cage. I'm like a heavy lucid dreamer outside of this dream. I lucid dream a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
You like daydreaming?
Yeah, like heavy. Like every night, I'm excited to sleep every night because like 4 out of 7 days is like a lucid dream.
Wow.
But it's something that I've also trained myself to.
You write this shit down?
Yeah. I mean, I have it. It's so embedded to the point where it's hard to differentiate if this is real versus like that.
And so you have reoccurring dreams?
All the time. I'll wake up 3-4 times in the night to use the restroom and continue the dream.
But are these reoccurring? So the same dream that come back?
The same dream. So in Sweden, it's a hamster cage. It's the strangest dream. There's a hamster cage. I've had the dream maybe like 3 times in my entire life. There's a hamster cage with a hamster that's at the bottom that I know, and when I have the dream, I know I have to feed it.
The hamster.
I know I have to feed
I thought you
hamster.
were in the hamster.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was after the totems that made the grass grow and shit, and you were playing with the cancerous clay. I just figured for some reason you might be in the hamster cage. But okay, so you got to feed the hamster, all right?
So now, like, I had the dream twice before, but my 3 prior dreams is 2 hamsters. So there's one that's like I can see the eyes turning gray, but I don't want to open the cage because I don't want it to escape.
Okay.
So the 3rd dream I had, even maybe this had to be like 4 years prior I had the dream, but I remember having it and seeing the hamster on the top has died.
Oh shit.
Because I haven't fed it. And
It's got like one of those little plastic little shoots and goes up to the little plastic.
Yeah. It's like one of those like double decker
sawdust. Oh yeah, he's got a plush, he's got a plush crib though, right?
It's like it's very plush. It's
All
like
right.
maybe too much plush.
Okay. You spoiled these damn hamsters.
So the one on the top dies.
Damn.
And the last dream I had of the one at the bottom, it was like just sitting there and not moving. You can see the eyes is turning gray as life is leaving it. And then when I go to Sweden, I see the hamster cage. But when I see the hamster cage, the door is open now. And I get so frightened because I see the hamster that's damn near dead now. And I wake up and I shake out of the dream and I like Google and look into it, and it was something of around the sorts of like I took it as a sign to like, you're supposed to be doing music.
But this is not, you saying you read something on internet because this is a dream that people have about hamsters?
It was like just a symbolism of dreaming of a hamster or animal within a cage, and it was a symbolism, some along the line, I'm paraphrasing, but along the lines of like, you're supposed to be doing something that you started, along that line. But
you're not on the right path. You know what that path could be.
Yeah, and before Sweden, I recorded one song.
All right.
So I have this one song called The Shore that I recorded. I'm in Sweden. I have this crazy dream. And I wake up and I remember telling her like I'm gonna really do it this time. And came back to New York. Everything was like domino. I got, so I released my first project, the Loft Blue tape, on SoundCloud.
Mm-hmm.
I released that in 2017. I think I've released maybe 3 projects within that year. I got hit up by Adidas. So Adidas did an artist series, and I took Adidas to Brooklyn, and they like recorded me performing at a cafe that a downstairs bar that closed in New York now due to COVID. But had that session with them. I did a few shows within it. I did Flower Shop in New York. I did Pianos in New York, and then I got hit the headline at SOB's, Sounds of Brazil. It's like the space that a lot of artists. It's like you've proven yourself within like the New York territory, and that's like the stage that you have to hit where you can bring your audience. And had my homie that's still a DJ to this day, killing it. He was my DJ for the set, and I did the SOB show, and it was.
It's tight.
It was amazing. Like it was amazing. Like I got comparisons of Gil Scott-Heron because of how I spoke to the crowd and how I carried myself. So for me, music has been, even going back to when I had meningitis, has been a like transformative process for me. It taught me a lot about just my life, a lot about my reflection. It brought me this space that I also wanted to share with the people that I interacted with, like my community and my friends. So it gave me a lot of internal strength that I didn't know that I needed. And just mashing up New York City. And that's when I was already out of Dover, street market, and I met my homie. And we were just like, he was like my manager, business partner. And then we just was like, we're gonna do, right before COVID hit, I was supposed to perform at Dover Street Market, New York, like release my album the same day it was performed.
So that's in collab with Comme des Garçons.
Yeah. And I remember, COVID hit. It killed everything. Like, I mean, like, it was me and a few of my homies that had like really big things that would have shifted or catapulted the trajectory of like our artistry, and COVID happened, and I was like, holy shit, I'm like 70% done with my album. It's March, and nobody knows what the world looks like anymore. And I just remember going like, this is still all I have. I mean, like the sculptures, I've like resented the sculptures. Like the studio molded, I moved to Manhattan, but I kept 4 sculptures, and I broke the head off all the other ones, and I just kept all the heads.
Oh, sick. So you have like this crazy burial ground of just heads? I've got to see this.
Yeah, so I kept all the heads, and then my partner who had like taller ceilings, I was able to build like my first like 10-foot one. And I did one that was like 10 feet, and I did one that was like 8 foot 6 inches.
Nice.
And
so you're still doing that to this day? You're still sculpting?
But it's insane. When I started doing music, I remember telling my partner at the time, like, hey, I think I'm gonna go heavy into music.
Yeah.
This feels good for right now in my life. And she's
but you can, I mean, these things can
coincide.
Yeah, they can coexist, man.
Yeah. Very true. But I felt like my mind was always like one-track minded. Like I felt like I wouldn't be giving music full potential because it's such different mindsets. It's like sculpting for me was classical music, podcasts, a lot of artist research. And then music is, for me, is based off my day-to-day experiences. So I don't have the time to, now I'm like going out to parties more. I'm kind of like meeting more people and
wilding out a bit.
Yeah, just to have.
But do you think that's an interesting? I fully understand what you're saying though. I think that somehow society foists that idea onto us. I mean, if you're an artist, like your brain's gonna go all different places at different times, and why can't you wake up in the morning and sculpt, and at night be in the club? I don't know. When we don't want to pigeonhole ourselves and say, well, I just do this, or that's how people want to see us. You know what I mean? And I think I know a lot of actors also. I mean, maybe it's an easier segue, but sing as well, or some paint. I mean, I don't know. Just right away, what came to mind is Jim Carrey, because I think he's just one of the most amazing actors and physical actors as well. But he sort of is like off the grid, and he's painting. But I don't know if you've seen some of his paintings. It's pretty. I mean, it's insane. I don't want to use the parallel between George Bush was president, but that crazy motherfucker, he paints now too, but a bunch of weird bulldogs. That's not the point. I shouldn't have gone to him. But it just happened. I just went to George W. Bush. But I mean, I think we can multitask and do all those things well. I mean, it's just so long as you are concentrated at that moment and you're fully into it, you know what I mean? Like if you're feeling that, I don't see why we can't.
I probably guess, I guess for me, there's 2 different communities also too. So I think for me at the time, being in the middle of both, like having friends that did art and having friends that listened to music, they weren't the same. It's still art at the end of the day.
And in the music business, we know there's a bunch of like
multidisciplinary.
Well, there's also a bunch of art freaks around all the time anyways, you know what I mean? Not just like the wannabe hanging on people, but like people that are really into art. I mean, if you go all the way back to Basquiat, I mean, he was working in music. You had, think about, what's that cat's name? I can never, that one dude who started, he was in music, he acts, he also was a painter. What's that dude's name? Did Buffalo City 66? He was like hanging out with all those cats back in the day, with Basquiat, with like Schnabel, all those cats as well, and he's
doing both.
What was that guy's name? Damn. Anyways, I can't remember his name right now. But yeah, why can't it happen?
It's possible. It's. I mean, I think at the time I didn't think that. I think at that time it was like either it was like one or the other, because also too I think I also felt that it was. Now I can see it now, but then I've always felt like it was two different mindsets, because all the artists that I ever knew were like either mushroomed out and like heavy like in what they're doing, and still enjoyed and did music, but like I don't know many like rappers, musicians from where I'm from that's also like heavy into art. So it was also like this
Yeah, I guess we see more rappers today that are more into fashion and collaborating with stuff. I mean, you just take someone like Kanye, I suppose, and like he's always collaborating with people and like designing shoes and clothes and shit. I mean, Jay-Z, Russell Simmons back in the day had Fat Farm. I mean, those cats were always, you know, and had their hands in different stuff.
But I mean, like also too, like I think fashion and rap coincide, because you also is also like a part of the image,
culture. Yeah, hip hop being the culture
and dynamic. But like the only known one that I think Chris Brown is the only like known, but even like his artwork and stuff, it's his music career overshadows how good he is as a painter or like graffiti artist, but he's known for dancing as well. So it's like dancing in his artistry, and then painting seems like a subcategory that exists.
That's all right if it can seem like a pet project, but I'm sure he's given it like his all as well, you know. I think that, you know, in the acting world, people are always talking about a triple threat, you know. You can dance, you can sing, and you can act, you know. So I don't know what that is in the equivalent of what the equivalent of that would be in the rap world, but maybe it would be fashion,
art, and then
rap, you know, art in some way. That's amazing. I want to move on to my questions, because this is where we get to have a little fun. So now you've been in Paris for how long, Loft?
9 months now.
9 months.
9 months now.
And just to start this, what's like the biggest like difference in living here and in living in the city in Brooklyn, New York?
I think when I first arrived here, because coming here for Fashion Week and then leaving, once I was actually here, I tried to find every reason to hate Paris.
So you'd already come here like 3 or 4 times?
Yeah, I've been here maybe like at least like 8 times.
Okay, before. Okay, so you knew you were getting into sort of. I mean, Fashion Week is a different.
Yes, it's a different beast. But I would always come like 2 days before Fashion Week and then stay a week after, to kind of gauge like how Parisian it can actually get and like how quiet. I'm like, oh,
Parisian it can actually. I heard that you were. Yeah.
So 9 months so far. But your question again was,
what do you think is like the biggest difference? Like what maybe a culture shock moment you had? Like you're like after like, okay, I've just been here for 9 days or 10 days. Like, what was that? Because Paris is very different than, I suppose, the rest of France, but resources. Okay,
resources.
Okay.
In New York, you have money, you have access. It's not the same thing in Paris. It's like you build relationships and you create. It has a similar system to like Japanese. It's like you build relationships, and you can't, just because you have the money, you can't buy the studio. Someone owns that, and they have to like potentially be in favor of your personality or who you are, and like so it's very in-house that I've noticed, and I think that was one thing that I didn't realize before, that I was like, holy shit, okay, this is not.
Or capital doesn't just open all the doors.
No.
Because in the States, yes, it's based on meritocracy. Once you've made the money, no one gives a shit if you were a plumber or whatever it was. It's like he's got money.
That's it.
He's doing it.
but here it's like
it's kind of still some kind of like a hierarchy that dates back to maybe the medieval times, where you got some aristocracy and stuff involved, and someone else can open the door. Maybe if they don't even had tons of money, but they have the connection.
Yeah, so that's that. But I think for me, how I operated in New York, I like it better here because it filters out half the bullshit.
All right.
Like I was talking to my buddy 3 days ago, and we were talking about like I was like, how do the creatives operate within Paris, like the young creatives. And he just, I was like, do people do people hit a peak here and kind of go, I'm okay where I'm at, I don't need to like get help or like source out? And he was like, that's exactly, he said here, it seems as if there's not a lot of like looking to collaborate and do things with other people in different cities because of the ego that exists. And I was like, in New York, somebody would tell you, yeah, and work on your project, but won't be fully committed. So I guess here I don't have to go through 20 people to meet the guy.
Or get all these people like, yeah, I want to work with, we're going to do it, and they don't do it. So once someone actually engages, you feel like they're down.
Yeah, so here I'm like, okay, I dig this. It's like you have this, and you Parisians also have this space to like sit down and have a drink because everything else in the city is in like a massive hamster wheel. So it's not this pressure to, damn.
You're not going back to the hamster.
Yeah. But yeah, it's that's one thing, resources. Something I spoke about to my friends. I just was like, I took for granted. And even though I still have so many resources, but coming to a city where it's like more groundwork seems like more like guerrilla between 2 people, 3 people. I'm like, oh, this is how I would prefer it for me.
Right on. So, what do you like most about living here then?
Oh man, the fact that it feels like a dream. I mean, it feels like a dream. I would have, if nobody could have ever told me in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, like, hey, one day you're gonna live in Paris and you're going to not live and die in New York, I would have been like, what are you talking about? Like, my mom is from Trinidad. I think my granny brought my mother to New York maybe, I think like the 80s. So it's only women in New York. It's just mom, grandmother, aunt, 2 sisters that I have in New York. So it was
So your pops is he lives where?
He's in New York, but
No.
Yeah.
All right. But he's a native New Yorker.
Yeah. Yeah. And
well, you know what? I didn't ask you before, which we can go back to right now.
Yeah.
I mean, did you have musicians? I'm coming from Trinidad.
Yeah.
There must have been some musicians in the family. I'm assuming that.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
maybe I shouldn't.
I know my father's brother's a DJ, but I know we have a cousin named Gail. Her sister is a big musician in Trinidad.
Right.
She's a singer. So I have like the New York culture of music and hip hop and jazz and blues, and then I have like the calypso aspect of like carnival music and soca, and so it's like a melting pot of like many different things. But Margaret was her name. Was a big singer in Trinidad. That's the closest I've been to a singer in my family that I've processed. Like, oh, this is. But still not even processing it. It was just like, oh, she can really sing, and not knowing as a child she was really big.
Nice. Going deep real quick.
Yeah.
How would you like to die, Loft?
In my sleep.
Yeah?
In my sleep. I want to die also at I think 91, check me out. The year I was born is the year I want to go out.
All right.
Yeah.
So 2082? My math's correct? I think that might be right.
Around then, but definitely in my sleep. Definitely in my sleep. I think about death a lot. I think because also there's this, I had a science teacher, forgot his name, but he was like, I don't believe in heaven and hell. I believe in like this in-between space. And I feel like I've seen that in-between space. So for me...
In your dreams or when you had that meningitis, maybe? Huh?
No, I mean, just within dreams. But
Yeah.
but even having moments waking up and like being, it's weird. It's a weird...
Somewhere between sleep and death and life?
Yeah, it's like, I believe they call it like REM sleep or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So it's like that in-between space. But I've like spoken to my grandfather in that in-between space. I've had like phone rings. I've like answered phone calls in that space. I've like...
Like when the phone actually rang?
Yeah, but like the phone rings, but it's not... It's like, imagine if you're in a room, like this room, and you know there's no phone in the room, but you hear the ringing. It sounds like it's like ringing like It can be anywhere. It might sound like it's over there.
Mm-hmm.
You'll walk over there, but then it sounds like it's over here. It's like it's just in the room. But
And you picked it up somehow.
yeah, I mean, all right, so like
This is getting really interesting.
Yeah, a quick side quest. I was
But no drugs are involved in this.
no drugs.
Okay.
I didn't start smoking weed until I was 24. So I would smoke weed and fake get high when I was younger. I just didn't understand the concept. I had to teach myself how to inhale. So I don't know how to inhale normally. I taught myself how to French inhale. So I can only French inhale. Like the concept of inhaling still doesn't make sense to me. I was in the sculpture studio. I was talking to a lady friend on the phone, and I'm like, damn, I wish you could have met like my grandfather, because he passed away for maybe three years now. And I wake up, I'm on a couch, and when sleeping on a couch this way, you can face the whole studio. I always like to like look at the work, and like it was like my own like creepy fascination. And I wake up, the room has a very interesting tint on it. It's like a gray monotone tint. And like you open your eyes, and I'm looking at this, and I'm just like, this looks interesting. And then a phone rings. And it sounded like an old phone from like the phone with the cord. Like bring, bring, bring. And I'm like, the calmest voice, I'm like, hello? My grandfather, he goes, hey, how you doing? I'm like, how you doing? I miss you. And the phone cuts off. And I'm like, damn. The phone rings again. Bring, bring, bring. I'm like, hello? I'm like, hey, how you been? Now I'm just trying to expedite the convo because I don't want to cut off. And he's like, I'm good. And he starts naming a date, and he said he's looking for his passport. And then I'm like, I love you. And as always, his response, he never said it back. And my family's like, we didn't really share like emotional affection. He was like, yeah, I know. And he's like, I don't know where I'm at right now, but there's a guy wearing a robe, and it's really bright, and I can't make out his face. And then while being in this space, my younger sister comes into this same kind of dimension space I'm in, and she's like, who are you talking to? But right behind her was my mom. So I ignored her, and my mom came down, and I tried to shift, I got goosebumps. I tried to shift my energy from my mom to see who I was talking to on the phone, and I lost the phone call.
Oh, no.
So once I snapped out of that space, the room goes back to regular tent, and I just like call my aunt, and I tell my aunt the thing, and like my aunt's crying on the phone, and it was like one of my first experiences of like in that in between space.
Yeah, state or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That said, what's your favorite drug, Loft?
For how I love biking. If you see me when it gets nice outside in the summer, you'll probably see me on bike more than you see me on foot. LSD.
Okay.
Hands down. I think because my brain is already wired to be like, and LSD in some way speeds it up, but speeds it up just enough for me to slow it down. So when I bike, so I'll just take a tab in the summertime, maybe 3 times a week, and bike all day.
So it's not even microdosing, you're taking a full dose.
Yeah, I'm taking a full tab. I'll take a tab at like 12, it'll hit maybe like 1:30, and then I'll just bike all day. And that is my, if there was a question of like, how would you want it, like what's the perfect day before you die? It would be that.
In the city, you were biking through like mad traffic?
In the city, yeah.
On a hit it?
Yeah.
Hit it LSD?
Yeah, like fully, because for me, I've always looked at drugs I have a friend, Ross, like super stoner. He used to always say, do the drugs, don't let the drugs do you.
Yeah.
So I've always set an intention and like created like how I want to feel that day, but also created an agenda every time I did mushrooms and stuck to it. Did not leave the agenda. So if I was like, I'm gonna do mushrooms, put headphones in my ear and just bike for 7 to 8 hours, and whoever I see along the way, that's who I see. But LSD, hands down, and then secondary would be mushrooms.
Mm-hmm. Don't last as long, but they're different. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Nice. What would you say nourishes your soul, Loft?
Damn, it's a good question. Right now, nothing beats biking home late night in Paris. I think silence. I think I'm always searching for a pocket of silence. I think, and when I find those small pockets of silence, I think that there's a strange warmth that I'm able to get. I don't know if it's because I'm able to hear myself think, or I don't know if it's because I'm able to just exist without not much chaos around.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it would be just like silence for me.
What question or questions torment you?
Are you okay?
Oh, so like someone else being like, "Are you okay?"
I hate that question.
Right?
I hate that
it's
question.
charged and it means nothing.
Yeah, because I think there's a pre-assumed feeling that someone else thinks you're feeling. Like I'm mellow. Like a lot of my friends that know me, if Chino's quiet, I'm still accessible. I'm just so I think the "you're okay" question to me is like, do I not look okay? I mean, and like, what does okay look like? I mean, because like you can be laughing and be okay, and you can be laughing and not be okay. And you can be that's like one of my questions that, are you okay?
It gets you the wrong way.
Yeah.
What's the flaw that inspires the most indulgence? Could be a lover, I don't know, a friend, family member.
What's the flaw that inspires the most indulgence? Women.
In general.
Yeah. Yeah.
So women are a flaw? I'm not gonna trap you on this, I'm just joking.
To the overindulgent aspect of it.
Yeah.
I think because I think I remember I hit a wall one day because I like middle of sex with a chick.
Mm-hmm.
I just was like, there's no substance in this. And it was a moment where I asked myself, what could I give a woman and what could be received? Because I think the act of intimacy and the act of interacting is such an easy thing to do. But I always believe there was a level that exists that I think as adults, when we grow up, we create an idea of what that looks like. And I think my overindulgence of women throughout the years of my life, I think became a flaw by default because I was operating a little bit differently. I wasn't operating based off of how I felt and what am I actually giving and what is being received and how do I exist within that relationship with someone else. So I would definitely say it's like women are like a gift and a curse to me.
Mm-hmm. Are you in a good place with your lady right now?
Yeah. It's clean.
Nice.
It's clean.
Coming back to Paris, what's the thing that like culturally chafes you the most about the French or Parisians?
That culturally...
it really gets under your skin about them. Or that just doesn't gel with you. Like...
I mean, it's interesting. So like, I've always heard people talk shit about Parisians. Just like, they're so like... But,
they're right, aren't they?
but it's interesting. Like I enjoy it. Like, I think the way... Because like, growing up in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, you'll meet like people who are like the same way, like don't want to be bothered, headstrong in their direction, like it's their way or the highway. And I always tell friends, I think like Parisians and Americans is why it's always like a I have a lot of American friends who talk shit about Parisians, and I have Parisian friends that say shit about the States. But I realize that it's just two people that are proud of where they're from.
Especially New Yorkers.
Yeah, and I think that is what's bumping heads. But I think like removing that, like I mean, it's fun. It's my daily humor to see how like, because I'm like, if this would be viewed very different if they were like really super, super, super nice. But also too, like I don't want to be anywhere that's like super, super, super nice. So I'm able to operate, do my thing. People look at me, but don't pay me any mind because they're on their own mission. So it actually helps me. I genuinely don't have a flaw or like a thing that kind of gets okay, I do.
Oh, see, here we go.
Customer service.
Pet peeve? Oh yeah, okay. I was just about to say, when that cat, like you get to a cafe and you've been sitting there for 5 minutes and like you see some cat and he just walks by the table and lights up a cigarette and goes, and just like, you wait for another 5 minutes, you're like, yo, what's up with this cat?
Yeah, customer service. I definitely felt like I was bothering to get assistance. And then I get the him there, and I just have to be like, okay, listen, you guys throwing me for loops in a circle. This is what I need. And when I've been a little bit more adamant about it is when it gets done, but I think it's just the natural
flow here.
Yeah, just the natural flow. But also it's like a filter system, like somebody will help you in New York and not know. So it balances to some weird degree for me.
Yeah. So like the California flow is what I call the flaw. It's like everything's laid back. Oh, I'll meet you at the beach, man. It's like 2 hours later. Oh, I got high and just hung out at home.
Yeah.
Parisian flow is a flaw too. Anyways, what do you like most about living abroad?
At night, I think I traveled quite a bit. I think each city is very special, really late at night, like after midnight. Especially where I'm living now, I'm like close to the Eiffel Tower, so they say I heard it's like more posh over there, but it's quiet. I think nothing beats like just like the late night here and like walking. Like I took the day I seen you, that night took like 4 chocolate mushroom squares and like walked from the 10th to the 7th. It was like an hour and 20-minute walk, and it was the best walk. It feels like a new unlocked map on like a video game. Like that's the best way I could describe it. It's been amazing.
How's your French doing?
It sucks. Hospitality right now. But which is interesting because I work with autistic men from 19 to 24. It was a company, I won't talk about the company, but it was a company that I worked with 8 men. My one-to-one was from the psych ward, and they were all nonverbal. And from that moment, I realized like, holy shit, like we can communicate. It opened my idea to like, oh, I would have a wife one day that didn't speak English or speak the same tongue as me when I'm like 24, and I'm like, holy shit, like life doesn't have to be the same thing. So it's always interesting when I talk to people about traveling certain places, and the first thing that comes up is, but do you speak the language? Or like, how would you navigate within that? But there's a natural nature in how we communicate before language. And I think it's like, I think body gesture, for me, I can tell intentions with someone's eyes, or like how they're speaking or talking.
But you're working on your French?
I'm gonna take classes, cause
Do you know any bad words?
Nah, no bad words.
No?
Nah, no bad words.
What's your favorite bad word in English?
It's kind of crazy. I strangely, I don't even curse much.
You're shitting me, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do, but in terms of like my favorite bad word in I don't think I have.
You don't have a go-to one? Okay. You don't have to.
Yeah, I don't think I have a favorite one.
Now that you've been living in Paris, do you feel more European? More worldly, I guess?
I still very much feel like an outsider.
Yeah.
For sure. I think, but even in New York, I felt like that. I mean, like I have a massive community, but spend a lot of my times. It's like if I have a group of friends, I'll one-on-one everyone. I mean, because I feel like for me at least, different friends serve different purposes.
For sure.
So
I've always had that philosophy.
So I can have I have my boy if I'm going through some shit. I can call him, talk to him. I got a homie if I need to talk to about another dynamic of something. And I've never been like the crowd guy.
Everybody changes, don't they? One-on-one humans are beautiful. Once you get them in a crowd,
it's different.
It fucks everything up.
It's different.
No, I think we become the worst race or the worst species on Earth.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. Sorry.
Yeah. No.
I had to throw that in there.
Agree. I feel that.
I don't know if you know a lot of about French history or maybe French celebrities or people in France, but if you could spend the night with any French person, celebrity, musician, artist, painter, whatever that may be, the evening, you don't have to actually spend the night with them, but to have a meal or chat with them, or if you want to engage in something more romantic, then you could. Who would that be?
Damn.
And why?
I would have loved to have did LSD with Salvador Dali in early France, like when he was out here walking with the anteater. I feel like that would have been an interesting conversation.
Now he's from Catalan. He's from Catalunya.
Yeah.
But what about French? You have anybody? Although I think that would have been amazing as well, by the way. Yeah. I'm not sure he did drugs though. Like Dolly was just that. He was just like
drug.
that.
Yeah, he was.
He was
drug.
like, yeah. I think he might have said, "I am drugs" or something, didn't he? Or "I'm a drug" or something like that.
Probably.
It might be one of his quotes. Like maybe.
I don't think I have anybody.
We'll stick to Europe then.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Now you spoke earlier about some kind of maybe idea of religion, but this next question, I would say, let's assume that hell is real. Somehow you make your way down there, or wherever it is, over there or up there, or maybe it's here on Earth, I'm not really sure. When you get to the fiery gates or whatever it may be, what do you think, or what would you like the devil to say to you?
I would ask for water, ice water.
Ask for ice water.
For sure.
And hit LSD.
LSD with...
I'll put words in your mouth, sorry.
LSD with the devil would be crazy. I don't know. I mean, it's a super interesting question. Like, I feel like we would be cool.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I probably won't agree on on everything, but I feel like there is something within everyone that is likable. It just depends on how much of it you receive and how much you actually are interested in.
So you would get down with the devil?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. I just got one more last question for you. This is a funny one. So I want you to fill in the blanks.
Okay.
Okay? So I know I always approach this the same way, and I say that I've always heard this, and some people are like that, and I don't believe it, but I have come around to thinking it may be true. So there are those that blank and those that blank.
There are those that blank, and there are those that tell the truth, and there are those that lie.
Who are you?
Both.
Depends on the day?
Depends on the circumstance. For sure. I've definitely finessed my way into some things, but it's also too. I think is interesting because I've lied to my mom before because it was also a sense of like a strange sense of protecting.
You were being economical with the truth, or maybe you were just trying to protect somebody.
Yeah, I mean it's It's interesting, but also too is like, what is a lie and what is the truth? Because I feel like a lot of times lies are told in truth. So like I could say I'm not like this person or I'm not this kind of guy. When I'm actually like telling the truth within that lie. And I guess it's how you perceive it, but or vice versa. I could be telling the truth and be completely lying. But I think it's I feel like you can tell about someone's friends if they're what side they rely on more. But for me, it would definitely be more truth. I think lie comes into play when I feel that, and it's maybe not even my place to look at things. I think people who I know probably won't handle truth in certain scenarios to where I would have to. There's a pocket pema of a book I read, and there's two monks that vowed to never touch women again, and they're going on a walk. It's an older monk and a younger monk, and they get to this river. I'm paraphrasing. They get to this river, and a woman at the river goes, "Can you carry me across so I don't get wet?" The older monk, without hesitation, picks up the woman, carries her across, puts her down, and they continue on their walk. And the younger monk was so bothered by that because he was like, I thought we vowed to never touch women, and I thought it's what we were doing. And he confronted the older monk about it, and the older monk was like, I put her down a long time ago. Why are you still carrying her? So it's also this like people carry things very differently. So I may be thinking too far of like something that I can't control anyway. But I think with time, I'm starting to kind of like live more in the honesty, even though I know it affects people, because at the end of the day, I would much rather someone be hurt from me telling the truth, but also in a small space, there's like respect that exists within that. Yeah.
I feel you. Listen, I want to thank you for coming in today, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll be putting those sculptures up and your music so people can check that stuff out.
Yeah.
Little hashtags, put up the site and everything like that. Really appreciate it, man.
Nah, sick. It was a very, I didn't know where it was going, honestly, because I mean.
It all made sense.
Yeah, it all tied, and I hope that whoever is listening or will be listening to this can put into sense of.
Well, maybe they'll be sculpted and they'll come back and just get pieces of it. So it's interesting that way too, and they'll put together what they want, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like you just said, we all get to sort of like put together what we think the truth is, or what or make up our own story along the way, right? Yeah. If it's real or not.
I mean, it's the last question is a good question because I've lied to myself.
We lie to ourselves every day.
I mean, so it's like
right,
and I'll see the truth. Or
it's also like you said, it's a self-preservation mechanism that's sort of built in at times. You have to. I mean, sometimes you say it and you don't believe it, but you got to believe at that moment, and then maybe it pans out in the long run, and it does become true. So is that a lie in the end? You know, one thing I didn't ask you that I really wanted to ask you. Have you encountered racism on a different level here?
Oof.
And that's
yeah. It's
throw you a curveball here at the end.
It's you know, racism in the States is complexion based. It's very complexion based. So I see how in certain scenarios, if I'm with a friend who may be a little bit darker than me, it'll be treated differently than me. I feel like in France, I don't know. I mean, I haven't experienced anything. I think I'm automatically looked at as an American or like somebody that does something creative. I think a lot of the tension comes from like people that look just like me. I think there is a
here in France more so than in the States.
I mean, both. It's the same groups.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I never understood it, but I also think it's a certain way that African Americans are viewed by Africans per se, and not saying that it's something that's like active, that's like going on, but it's something that I've like slightly noticed through guys who run the door, like for bouncers, or me going to the market, and shopping for stuff. The person that I would think would probably follow me and be on my back, it's not. It's the other person that's like follow me, and I have to, like it's so strange. I mean, because I think there's a weird tension there that's like unspoken, or I don't know.
Because I mean, I've always, I guess, understood racism on a different level than here in France than it was in the States.
Yeah.
From what I've seen with my friends, and what they've told me, which is interesting because Jonathan said something about actually he encountered racism through someone else that was calling him like light skin or something. But I always felt like it was just like up, like really in your face in the States. Whereas here it's kind of like comes around through the back door a little surreptitiously.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I haven't really existed. I haven't really experienced it in the States, but
in the States, that's great, man.
I experience it when I'm with a couple of people, because now it's
in a couples format.
So it'd be like if it's me and 3 homies, or me and 2 other friends. I mean, then I feel like you can sense it being like it becomes uncomfortable. The environment becomes a little bit more like, let's see what's going on.
But solo, no, nothing.
Solo me. I've been blessed enough not to see it.
What about with your girl?
In terms of
I don't know, being in I guess what we would say is an interracial relationship. Because I know that in New York it's changed a lot. Because when I used to live there in the 90s, I mean, like that was still kind of taboo. And then I went back, like 2008, 2010. It's just changed. Like it's all like. Seems like a whole different city landscape now. Yeah,
there's it's interesting. I mean, I feel like unless, because like you can watch movies and you can watch, you can read about racism, but it's something like I had a friend during COVID. It was COVID happened and there was like the like Black Lives Matter stuff going on and a lot of the marches and stuff that was going on with that. And I remember my friend telling me like, oh, everybody, she was Asian. She was like, everybody can like just post online and and like I had to be like, yo, like I understand that, but I said when after this moment is over, the people that are Black still have to live with being Black. When you're back in your routine and it's not a subject that craves attention, I'm like, so like it gets tricky.
Like when the demonstration's over,
people are back to their regular lives. I mean, and like
we live,
So it's a very strange dynamic, but I think here, I mean, I feel like racism. I think the more advanced the world gets, the more it'll probably be a little bit harder to see. Because there'd be so many distractions in front of what that actually looks like, but
or people evolve. Hopefully, there won't be any difference in people's eye color.
But it's also it's like how. What was the question? Like how do you change that? Because it's like I don't think there should be laws that should be passed. Because it's like. Like I feel like it has to change individually first. I mean, like a law passing isn't saying anything. I mean, we can get a law that passed and says this type of person has to get the same salary as this type of person or vice versa. But if the people within that space don't feel that this
should really exist or aren't good with it,
like then you're still technically then you'll experience it from a spiritual level and So it depends. I mean,
we're ending on a heavy note here. I didn't want to get to the point. I'm just
but
no, I'm sorry.
it's a conversation that
I don't think we can solve racism right now.
nah, we
unfortunately.
definitely can. Yeah, I mean we can. It's like a little
Footnote, right?
teardrop in the pool.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I'm super stoked to like solo and
Yeah.
none of that's going on.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's also, I think also, not to go back into it, but like how you carry yourself too.
You're right.
I mean, there is a stereotype of what it looks like, and then there's the other side of like, what is this? I mean, I get the what is this kind of thing versus like, I mean, I could easily dress a certain way
and get that same feeling
and get that feeling, but it's definitely yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We gotta learn to end on a lighter note, but I
Yeah.
really appreciate the conversation today, man.
Yeah. But also like shout out my homies in Senegal and
talk to all your boys.
and like
and the ladies.
just and the ladies and just like Senegal, Barbados, and South Africa, because I mean, I think within systems that have so much hierarchy and just wanting to be above and not feel less than, like I think there's always going to be
power struggle,
power struggles
sure.
and ego pulls and hidden tension, and I think a lot of things are just a conversation away from understanding. 'Cause I experienced something here in Paris recently in the market, and I had my partner translate to the guy of how I felt. It's because in New York I would have just been like, hey, listen, I come here, I live here, I feel uncomfortable being followed in the store that I come here religiously every single day.
Yeah.
I mean, and she had to translate that for me, but it broke the mold of now the person sees me, and the 2-3 people that would like see me and be like, what is this? And let me follow and see what he's into. Now they speak and say hello and smile. So it's just that conversation. So
that icebreaker that finally.
Yeah. So for me, learning French would be
key to opening more doors, or maybe just
and like I guess
breaking the stereotype of what they think you are, what you look like,
and like my hospitality, and like it'll give me more character. My humor won't be as simplified, and it'll just create a smoother flow for me to. I mean, it also change the narrative of what an American looks like or how they perceive Americans in France, because I think it's like everywhere it has people that have the platform and it looks a certain way, and if you don't know, then it goes into this tumbleweed. But
get the language down and then you fuck with them.
Yeah. Give me like 5-6 months, because I definitely got some friends I want to talk shit with and just hear what people are saying on a day to day. But right now it's a beautiful classical moment that I can like just walk, and a guy's like, fuck you, and I'm like, have a good day, how are you?
I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't know what that was like. I'd have to go to like Slovenia or something. Like,
Yeah.
That's a good place though. I do recall sometimes I try to look at writing and stuff and think about the time when I used to see it and it didn't mean anything to me or it didn't make sense. It's hard to go back. All right, man. Well, listen, once again, thanks. And like I said, we're going to tag all this stuff up. And
thank you for having me.
Yes,
for real.
It's been a real pleasure.
For sure. It's been a cool release on this week for me. So
cool. Well, listen, we're gonna do a couple pitches and stuff. So
yeah.
Bon vent, mes camarades.